Salah to run. Walker's got plenty of speed as well. Firmino joins in. Here's Firmino, saved by Ederson. And then on the follow-up, it's Salah! First blow to Liverpool. Mo Salah with another big goal for them. And Liverpool strike first in the Champions League at Anfield. This was a really nice ball by Trent Alexander-Arnold. You see, he's just borderline. He's onside. Cuts inside. Beats Firmino, gets his shot away. Liverpool 1, Manchester City 0. Mo Salah again. Firmino, there's no foul. Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain. He can hit one! Oh, he can hit one! That is an absolute screamer from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. And Liverpool double their lead after 20 minutes at Anfield. And that is a rocket from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Liverpool 2, Manchester City 0. Here's Roberto Firmino. Well, they've lost all of their fluidity just for the moment, Manchester City. Salah punts one at Vincent Kompany. It's a good ball into Sadio Mane. It's 3-0 Liverpool after half an hour. And Liverpool are running riot here in the Champions League. Liverpool 3.
So at least that felt really good, remembering that, and it still does. Unfortunately, we've got some injuries. I'm back, guys. Liverpool vs. everybody with my good friend from Anfield Roar, and once again, please go check that channel out when you get a moment. How you feeling, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm buzzing after that win on Wednesday. What a win, and the fans and everyone around the stadium, around the city, everyone's buzzing at the moment.
Yeah, it's definitely good. Having that victory, having that win, knowing that we have a derby coming up, always obviously important. What are your feelings about lineup headaches that Klopp may have, and how do you look at it? Like, who are the players you think we should sit? Who are the players you think need to keep playing for rhythm or whatever?
Do you want me to go through my my team, the team that I played with?
Yeah.
In guard, probably with Karius. No point in picking anyone else. Right back, I mean, this has to be the game for Nathaniel Klein to come back. He's been out for a long time with a back injury. You know, hasn't played a game since pre-season against Tranmere Rovers. And this has to be the game where he starts. Centre back, I mean, I'd probably put Lovren and Van Dijk in. We have no one else. We've got a couple of youngsters, but there's no point in putting them in. Ragnar Klavan, he's out. Matip's out. Left back, I've got Moreno. Give Robertson a rest, and this is a perfect game for Moreno to come in. In midfield, Henderson, he's suspended for the game against City, so he's definitely going to be playing. And then Chan, what I'm hearing is he might be out of the season. I don't think that's true, though. What I heard from a couple Liverpool journalists, apparently he's going to be out for the City game and the Everton one, and they're going to have to wait and see what happens after that. But I'd probably go with Oxlade-Chamberlain and Wijnaldum, because I think Milner's he's played a lot of football recently, and to play 4 games in a week and a half for James Milner, I mean, that's a lot. So I'll probably go with the legs of Wijnaldum and Chamberlain, and up front I'd go with Mane, Solanke, and Danny Ings. I mean, Firmino, he got subbed off in the 7th minute, and is that indication of him getting minutes of playing? I'm not too sure. I wouldn't risk him at all, because we've got such a thin squad at the moment, and all these injuries are coming out at the wrong time. You know, we don't want these injuries, at the moment, because we're fighting for top 4. I mean, I think it's what happens in this game, it doesn't really matter, because I think we're going to get top 4 regardless. But in terms of a Champions League, our road to Kiev, I mean, it's frustrating, because all these injuries, we need them to rotate for the Premier League games as well. Like right now, Matip, Chan, or even Adam Lallana, forgetting about all these players would come in handy at the moment. But we've got 3-4 players that are going to be playing the same game against City. We could see Wijnaldum, Chamberlain, and James Milner starting against City, and 2 of those players that I've put my team in playing against Everton again in a high intensity match in a Merseyside derby, which is early kickoff 12:30. Which Klopp, he said that he's not happy about the timing, but we're gonna have to wait and see with this team selection, because it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, and that really good thing said there, and I agree with everything. He kind of kept it to his chest in the press, didn't really talk too much about who would start and who wouldn't, and necessarily who was fit and who wasn't. At least from what I heard, I didn't hear the whole interview, but you can expect that from Klopp. He didn't want to give too much to Everton, too much for that team and that coaching staff to chew on. Yeah, it is really the wrong time for injuries, and we seem to have that. I don't know what it is, man, but I've said it before. I feel like we're the most unlucky team with guys staying fit and getting injured or whatever. Not really sure what that's down to. I just think we've been unlucky a few times over the last couple seasons, especially with Klopp. But yeah, I mean, because of the squad strength and depth, there will be a few players from that City game, unfortunately. And just hopefully for a derby, we know the challenges come in. There's going to be some heavy tackling and things of that nature. What you expect, I just hope that we can come out unscathed from it because again, we're bare bones now, and we can't afford any more of these injuries to big time players. So I think it's a no brainer that Salah sits out. For me personally, I just think you got to wrap him up, make sure he doesn't get any injuries. Up to three, I think Mane. Yeah, Mane seems just like a energizer bunny, man. He can keep going and going and going and going. And I think we could probably be okay with having him play. And then Firmino the same. I kind of don't even want to see Salah on the bench. So hopefully that's the case. We'll see what happens. Some people are giving shouts for Curtis Jones. Have you seen much of him?
Yeah, I've seen much of him. Well, I say much. I've seen a bit of him
Okay.
because obviously I've got the subscription for
Okay.
LFC TV. So I've watched him play for Steven Gerrard's on the 18s. He's a good
Oh,
player.
nice.
He's a very, very good player. But I think he hasn't really had a lot of games. He's just been promoted to the under 23s right now, and he hasn't, had any experience in that as well. So I think it'd be nice to see him on the bench, but I doubt Klopp will put him, even in the squad. I mean, to start him, I think that's a bit too much pressure on him, pressure on his shoulders to start him in such a big game because the Merseyside derby, it doesn't matter where you are in the league, doesn't matter what the circumstances are with the next game. It's always a massive game. If I'm quite honest with you, all my focus right now is just going towards that Man City game, and we can't have any more injuries. I mean, that's the key for us. We can't have any more injuries because then you're gonna have to see us. Probably if we have the injury to Love and Van Dijk, who are we going to put at centre back? If we have another injury to a centre midfielder, who are we going to play? Because Henderson's out, suspended, Chan's out, or Lallana's out, and even for our front three, we can't have any more players out injured. I mean, this is why Klopp has to be careful with what team he picks tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's such a tricky thing, and you can see how disappointed he was after the game. Of course, happy that we won, but he's been talking about this Everton match and how kind of unfair it is before the City game even happened. So we know how Klopp is about these fixtures and the quick turnarounds and the early kickoffs, and we get it. But this is just how it's been. This is the culture. This is how they play in England. We got to just get on with it. But yeah, he does have to be careful. With the selection, with the players, and it's tough because it is a derby game, and he's expected to, treat it with as much respect as he can. But guys got to understand, man, the City game is really really important, probably more important in the grand scheme of things. I mean, we still got to keep fighting, like you said, in the Premier League and keep our spot up there at the top four. Anything can happen. It looks like we're good, but we still got to treat those games with a level of seriousness as well. So it's tough, man. And City have the same thing. They got this sandwich in between United and the derby as well. So I'm just praying, man. It's an early kickoff. We know how those how those go, and thankfully we beat Palace. Similar kickoff, if not the same. So I think we're good. I think we're in a good place, man. I think we can keep marching on. I'm looking forward to seeing what the lineup is going to be, and hopefully we can just knock Everton off and then just put things back on City. Do you think? Do any of these kind of? You said Emery, you don't think the Emery thing is true? You think he'll play?
No, no. I don't think. I don't think he's out of the season. I mean, the
Okay.
newspaper that reports it, I think it's Daily Mirror, and they said Harry Kane's gonna be out of the season. So it's it's just complete and utter rubbish. But he will be missing the Everton and City game at least. He's gonna be out for those, but he's not out for the season. I'm pretty sure he's not out for the season.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely hope you're right about that. When I saw it, I was hoping the same. Like maybe I know it's a back injury, though. Those are serious, obviously. Definitely need that to get around the pitch, but I was hoping that it wasn't season ending, especially coming after the Matip situation. So it's about finishing strong, and I believe we'll do that. Do you feel like does any of this news or whatever make you worried about the second leg?
What with the injuries?
Yeah, just the current ones, like hoping that we don't get any new ones. Are you worried, like not having Henderson? I know he's not injured, got the yellow card. Not having Henderson, not having Chan, probably, and the goal, all of that. Do you feel like that's going to affect our chances to get the second leg?
I mean, before the first leg, I would have thought with Gomez out, I worried, but with the performance that Trent Alexander put in, I mean that's going to give him that's going to put him above everyone in the world right now. He's going to be full of confidence going into the rest of the season, rest of the game for the season. So I'm not too worried about him anymore. Deja Lovren, I thought was incredible. Van Dijk again, a leader. I mean, I said that in my match preview as well on my channel. I said that we have to stay concentrated for the whole 90 minutes. We can't even for 10 minutes. We can't switch off like we did in the game at Anfield in Premier League, because here away goals and everything comes into play with the aggregate and away goals and home and away, how it's set up there. I mean, yeah, I'm worried obviously because Everton. I mean, they're probably gonna start off with a high intensity, trying to get into tackles, and maybe some of our players, their mind will be on the City game. You know what I mean? Klopp will probably tell them. I'm not sure if Klopp will tell them to kind of ease off, because I don't think that he's that sort of manager.
Right.
But I'm worried. Of course, I'm worried. I mean, we can't have any more injuries. Even one injury to our first team, I mean, that's going to damage us a lot. I mean, we've already got so many injuries right now, but one more, and that's going to make a massive difference to any spot, especially centre backs, the midfield, and the front line, because we don't have we don't have a backup for it. And if we do, it's not at the level that we need it. We need them to be at for that away leg against City. But we need 12 more points now to finish in the top four. And you look at our fixtures. We've got Everton away. I'll probably take a point if it meant that our players are going to be fit for that City game. All the players that we've got currently in the team. Then we've got Bournemouth at home. I think I'm going to be going to that Anfield. So I'm looking forward to that one. That should be 3 points. I mean, they're mid-table team there. They're already in the beach most likely. And then we've got West Brom away. They're relegated. Stoke home. They could be relegated by the time we play them. Chelsea away, hopefully that's not going to have too much meaning to it, and Brighton home, a mid-table side. So the fixtures that we're looking at of winning, the three home games, we've got Stoke, West Brom, Stoke, Brighton, and Bournemouth. You're looking at 9 points there, and obviously a relegated West Brom. You're definitely looking at 3 points there as well. But that's considering Chelsea win all their games. I'm not sure they're going to do that. So I think top four is definitely done for us, and I think that win against Palace, that was absolutely massive, because if we drew that game or lost that game, then we'd have to play a very, very strong team to beat Everton. But that win against Palace has kind of given us a reason to relax a bit and take a point if we need one. So that's important for us. But all eyes is on that City game. That's the most important game that we have. And if we get to the semi-finals, it just shows what an incredible manager Klopp is, especially with the team he has and the injuries, all the problems. Getting to the Champions League semi-finals, especially with the money Guardiola spent, it just shows that if Klopp had that sort of money, we would have won that Premier League probably last season, this year, definitely. But as I said, all eyes on City, and hopefully we can progress to semis. And then you never know what can happen. I was watching your stream last night about if we get through, we could play Bayern, Barca, or Real, and they're three incredible teams, three world-class teams. And Bayern for me is probably the easiest out of an amazing bunch. That's what I said. There's no easy teams, but if I have to pick one, I'd pick Bayern, because I think Real Madrid's experience. I mean, it's in the competition 2 years in a row they won it. Barcelona with Messi as well. I probably won it in this order: Bayern first, Barca second, Real third, and we can beat anyone over 2 legs, because we're showing it now. We can just bring it on. I don't care who we get, if I'm quite honest with you, in semis. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably go with Bayern. But I'm just looking forward now to that City game, get through, and then it's just incredible when you're playing for something in April or in May. It's the best feeling, because you're playing for a big trophy, like a big trophy, like a Champions League or the Premier League or something like that. I mean, it's the times that we wanted, and clubs brought it back to us.
Yeah, man. Again, as usual, really, really thorough and good things you shared there. And it is a good time for Liverpool. And I want to touch on something you mentioned, and that's the semifinal. Having one foot in, assuming we get that. The idea would be in a perfect world to wrap up these Premier League games so that maybe the last two we can kind of just play a week's side and really, really focus on the semis and maybe get some guys back to health. I don't know. Knock on wood, we don't get any more. A lot of people are mentioning the training, regime and the way that Klopp and his staff like to train the players for these injuries. And we've all heard this before. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah. When Klopp first came, we started getting a lot of injuries, and there was someone called, I think he's a Dutch coach.
Yeah. I forget his name, but yeah.
I forgot his name, and he kept criticizing Klopp on Twitter and all that stuff. But for me, it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. You get injuries everywhere, absolutely everywhere. You get it's luck or the player's fitness. That's all it is. And Klopp, Klopp's put our players into shape. The fitness levels has gone higher. And I remember when he first came, we had that. I mean, the first game I remember it was against Tottenham away at White Hart Lane. It was such a high intensity game. The first half, especially, we were pressing them, we were closing down gaps, and second half from that game, what I remember, our energy levels went down, and now we can see it. We can sustain the whole 90 minutes, full of the way we want to play, which is high intensity, heavy metal pressing, heavy metal football. And Klopp, you have to do that. You have to do that intense training in the training ground to get the best out of the players. But obviously, it's a long season. We've had 4 competitions. We've had the Premier League, the League Cup, the FA Cup, and the Champions League. I know we didn't really get as far in the League Cup and FA Cup. But they've put in everything. Every game they've put in 100%. And it's just up to Klopp now to manage the team. And he said that he said around a couple of months ago, he said that I've rotated a lot in November, December time, and January time, but mostly November, December, so I can pick the team that I want to play in this period of time, for the Champions League in April, May, when it's the crunch end of the season where you're playing for the biggest things.
Yeah. I think it's we just had a comment come in about Mane, and I've talked about that heavily on this channel that Mane is just a different player this year. I don't believe in this narrative or the rhetoric of him falling off or having a bad season or being in bad form. I think he's, if anything, stepping up right when we need him. Getting to go in the Champions League, of course, was big.
Yeah.
Getting the goal at Palace. Yeah, Palace. So
Yeah.
I'm loving Mane, and I don't even want to think about injuries because the better part of me feels like there'll be something else at some point. But I'm gonna try to keep that in my mind and just hope that we can stay safe and keep things okay.
I just want to say something about Sadio Mane as well.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I mean, when Coutinho left, we all had a thought of, we need to buy someone, and we saw obviously papers of Mahrez, Lamar, all these rumors, and we thought, we need to buy someone because we're gonna come to this point right now where we might not say if Salah, Firmino, Mane gets injured, who are we gonna play? Danny Ings or Dom Solanke? I mean, they're just not good enough, are they, to play at these sorts of games against Man City? And we thought we're gonna, it's a massive risk that club is taking. Obviously, he tried to bring in Naby Keita in January, but they just wanted too much money. And I heard apparently they wanted Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't know if it's permanent on the loan, for that deal to happen in January. But with Mane, I'm seeing a different play here because when he's playing when he's playing with Salah, Firmino, obviously when Coutinho left, it took a bit of time. Then he started, to play well after that Porto game. And that Porto game, he scored a hat-trick. That gave him so much confidence now. He's scoring goals, he's assisting, and we're seeing the Sadio Mane from last season. He's hungry, his pace, his power, his energy, and that's what we're seeing. And now with Coutinho, when Coutinho used to play, when we had the Fab Four of Salah, Firmino, Mane, Coutinho, it'd mostly be Mane, Salah, or Coutinho. No, it'd be mostly Firmino, Salah, or Coutinho getting the goals, and Mane would kind of be left out, and that wouldn't obviously give him a lot of confidence. But now he's gone into that front three again with Salah and Firmino, and now all attention's on him. same as it was last season for Firmino, Coutinho. And now all the attention's on him, and now he's setting up goals. As I said, he's scoring goals, and he scored 13 goals last season, but now he's got 15 goals and 8 assists. So I don't know where this nonsense come about from him not having a good season, because he's improved.
Yeah, it almost felt like that one, issue where he had, I think it was against Everton actually, where he should have passed the ball, he didn't. It's almost like that one moment just put some kind of weird cloud over him for supporters.
We thought that loads of fans thought that he was competing with Salah.
Yeah, but that's so ridiculous. That's so ridiculous, man. Like, these guys are like brothers at the end of the day. I'm sure their connection is probably stronger than we would even imagine. There's no beef. There's no jealousy. And that's a beautiful thing. It really is, because we need all those guys working together. And you can tell they love playing with each other. So I never believed that foolishness. But people need to write stories. People need to start things. So I get it. But no, I think Mane is if anything improved, and he's. Even in some moments, he's kind of playing that. Listen, he's not the same player as Coutinho, but Coutinho is the same player as him. But my point is, he's kind of playing that role to a degree, falling back a little bit, being creative, just doing what he has to do for the team. And that's amazing. People forget he's playing on a different side, and he's just showing different ways of his game. He might not be beating people for pace every game like he was last season, but that's what we have Salah for. So Mane, to me, is, if anything, matured. He's really matured and shown.
He's become the creator in the team.
Say again?
He's become like the creator of the team.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Like, whoever thought that was going to happen? And again, like you talk about Coutinho, I was one of the guys who, I was never a huge Coutinho fan. I never really bought into this whole world class and he's our best player and all that. And so I wasn't devastated like a lot of our fans are. Yes, he was a good player and he had a really good half a season for us, the best he's had, which is kind of weird. He didn't play the whole season, but I didn't see it as this blessing in disguise. It was a blessing because I felt like it allowed us to do a bit more. To me, Coutinho was never really a quote unquote Klopp player. He wasn't amazing at pressing. Yeah, he had a set piece from 30 yards out from here and there. Yeah, he could do some creative things, but I wasn't disappointed. And so, yeah, it is a blessing. I don't know how much of a disguise it is, but it's clearly a blessing if you just watch. And we beat the best team in England twice without him. And people will say things like, when we're struggling against Swansea or these kind of low block teams, that, if we had Coutinho, we would have won the game or whatever. So, at the end of the day, listen, I think the team is showing that it's a team in every sense of the word, and we fight for each other. We might not have the best players in the world, but these guys play together and for each other, and they believe in this manager. And to me, that's stronger than any one player leaving the club. So,
yeah.
Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say that, with Mane, Salah, Firmino, the thing is, they're just not good. They're good friends on the pitch, but off the pitch, they got a fantastic relationship together. Right. That's obviously when you're friends off the pitch, you're gonna know each other on the pitch and where you go and your movement and how you want to play with each other, and that's the key. City looked like a team of individuals on Wednesday night, but we look like a team individually. They're much better than us. If you compare the team, not player for player, but as a team full of individuals, they're better than us. But it just showed that the fans, the atmosphere, ANFIELD, it all played a part in us beating them. And obviously it gives the players that extra boost of energy to beat City, and that's what it is. We played as a team on Wednesday night, and City played and looked like a bunch of individuals that never played with each other.
Yeah. It's just a beautiful thing to see everybody clicking. And to that point about the better team, yeah, I would probably say City. As far as some of the individuals again. But then again, to me, what was really glaring is that we get a lot of flack and the discussion is always about our defense, but City don't face a team like Liverpool on a regular basis in the Premier League, and so they're able to kind of. It looks like their defense is better than what it is, but it really isn't to me. They got the human bowling ball in the middle, company. They got Otamendi, who was made to look like a Sunday League player.
He's just atrocious.
Yeah. Mane almost put him out of the game with an injury trying to reach for that ball. So. Listen, yeah, they got a good team. They got a good manager, all that. But, so do we. And that's what I kept saying. I'm glad that we got this. And I know you agree. I'm not saying that, you think differently. But that's why I'm glad we beat this team because, again, it just shows that if you're going to be looking at teams in the Premier League and then on a European stage, fine, talk about City if you want. Talk about United, whatever. But you must talk about Liverpool. You must mention Liverpool. And so long as Klopp is there, and we're bringing in these great players and having still these great players, people are going to have to mention Liverpool. There's no more of this, talking about Liverpool can't cut the mustard. We can't do it in big games. We can't do it in Champions League. That's all going to be an end now. So I think Klopp was probably banking on getting Keita, if I'm honest, in the winter. I think he really thought that was probably a high possibility, which really would soften the blow, because you could tell that it probably hurt Klopp that Coutinho left. But I think if we would have got Keita in with Virgil van Dijk, I mean, wow, that would have been a powerhouse situation, and obviously would have helped us now with the injuries. But we don't have him. We'll have him soon. But I'm excited, man. I'm still confident, still optimistic, still love our chances. Of course, of finishing top 4 and as well as going as far as we can in the Champions League. I'll say that. Give me a score prediction for the game tomorrow.
For Everton, I'm gonna go for 2-0 win. But it all depends on the team that Klopp plays. But I think, regardless of it, I think Everton with their manager, I think I'm just gonna go for 2-0. I don't think there's a divide between the fans and the club and the manager, so I think they'll play into our hands. And I think the momentum, even though we're looking at that City game and thinking that's a massive one, the momentum's with us, the confidence is with us, and whoever's on the pitch, I think we'll get the job done. I'm gonna go for 2-0 win.
I like that. I like that. I'm gonna go the same, actually. I was saying earlier too that I didn't mind like a low score draw, 1-1, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to drop points. That's my thing. And so
Yeah.
as long as we can keep in positive and get a decent result there, I'd be happy. Yeah, well, I'm gonna go ahead and head off to work, and thank you again for making yourself available.
No worries.
Let's see if we can. Well, let's just do one after the game if you're free, man.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
free.
let's do it after the game.
Mhm.
So, guys, people who are here, thanks for spending some time with us. You could be doing anything, and you're here with us. I really appreciate that, and we will see you guys soon. Thanks again, ANFIELD.
Yeah, no worries.